Hey y'all! Thanks for joining me today here on TammyToosVintage. I'm Tamara and have a great haul video for you today with a few things from estate sales and the rest of it from Goodwill and a really exciting find. One of those things that I said someday I will find this at a Goodwill, and yesterday was the day. So stay tuned and find out the exciting item that I picked up at Goodwill this week. Hey y'all! Thanks for tuning in to TammyToosVintage, where I share my love of thrifting, junking, collecting, and treasure hunting, along with some adventures in reselling too. You might even get a glimpse of my crazy life on the side.
Eyes aren't clean.
Hey y'all! Oh goodness, you got eyes on my voice. So somebody decided to photobomb our video today. This is Bluebell, and poor little Bluebell lost her mama, and so when she was about 6 weeks old, and so she came to live with us, and we are helping her. She had a little bit of an infection in her eye, and we're helping her get better. But this is Bluebell. So say hi, Bluebell. You say hi to everybody. Okay. All right. So Bluebell's gonna go get her eyes medicine done, and we will get started on the haul video. So I am gonna start with the things I picked up at an estate sale. Now, I do occasionally work with a company here in the Central Texas area, which is a lot of fun because I get to see a lot of people. This last one, I was right on the lake, and the view all weekend was absolutely gorgeous. And the last day I was really surprised because these did not sell, but I was able to pick up 2 sets of hand embroidered pillowcases for 50% off on the last day. So look at these. Aren't these absolutely gorgeous? And they even have the tatting around the edges. Let me open one of these up for you. But yeah, these are really, really pretty pillowcases, and they are hand embroidered, purple flowers, 2 of them, and they're actually on a really nice cotton pillowcase as well for $2. So that actually is $1 a piece because it was $2 for the set. So I got those, and then a pink set that is kind of a cross-stitch pattern. You can see that there. And I love these itty-bitty blue flowers that are there. I think those just add so much to it. And again, these are on a really nice pillowcase. You know, these aren't cheap pillowcases that they embroidered on. So those are really nice. They almost look like they've never been used. So I got those 2 this last weekend at the sale that I worked. And I also got a couple of art pieces that are super nice. And I might just put some pictures in and show you those because I was really super excited to pick up those as well. Now, I stopped by an estate sale, and one of the things that I wanted to look at is I wanted to see what their prices were on their furniture and larger items. So I stopped by on the first day, and hopefully I might go back. The first day was yesterday, so I went by then, and I picked up a couple of smalls. And I'm hoping some of the larger items are still there when they start doing their discounts, because although the prices were good, I'm not going to say the prices were too high, it's just higher than what I wanted to pay. So I'm going to wait and see if I get lucky on that. But I picked up some kitchen items. I love these kitschy little trivets. They're made out of straw, you know, woven. This was $2, so it's a a trivet so you can set hot items down on the table. Thought that was really cute. I love the bright fun colors. And then I picked up 2 of these tea towels, and I really liked that this vintage fabric was sewn along the edge, making these tea towels just a little bit bigger. But I loved the applique. That's what really drew me to these towels, because this applique, which is obviously hand done and very nice, it reminds me of a quilt that I have. My grandmother, back in the 40s, she made a quilt that is called a Victory Garden quilt, the pattern that she did. And each square is about this big, and it is appliqued very similar to this. And every square has a different applique in it, and it's fruit or gardening items or vegetables or things that you would find in the garden. And like I said, it's a Victory Garden quilt made in the 40s, around World War II. I think she may have started it during the war, and to commemorate the Victory Gardens that the government encouraged people to plant in World War II to help out with the fresh food and things, because there's so much rationing, and that helped families be able to grow their own food. But I love this one. This one does look like it was used and well loved. It's got that nice soft feel to it, and I love watermelon. It's one of my favorite foods. And so this one is just fantastic, and I love that. And I think these were $3 or $4 a piece. And I'm probably going to keep these for my own kitchen just because I love them. All right, other things at the sale. This cutie is not marked. There's no markings on the bottom, but this is, and he is a planter. It looks like it's very hard to see, but it may say USA right there. But this is Shawnee. This is a Shawnee pottery piece. It is vintage. He's in very nice condition. It kind of looks like he has a chip on his ear, but it is glazed over, so that obviously happened in the manufacturing process, so I would not consider it a flaw. He does have a tiny little chip right there on the back foot, but not significant. But I love that blue color that he has. And things like this are where it pays to do your research, look at items. When I saw him in the pictures, I thought, he's something. I think there was a couple of possibilities. I did a little bit of lookups and found out he was Shawnee, so I picked him up for $12 at that estate sale. Now this little guy I did not see in the pictures because he is so little. You can see him, and he, I believe, from what I've looked up, I believe he is Chinese, and he may be Majolica, the glaze. I just saw that he has a little chip on his tail, so I'm not sure if that happened with me or before, but I had planned on putting him in our little shadow box anyway because he is so cute. But these horses are reproductions of a Chinese horse, a special horse. There's actually a set of these, a set of 8 that look like this, that he comes in, and he was $6, so a little expensive for just a little ceramic horse, but he is kind of special. Love that glaze, love that color. So he's really pretty. All right, I'm gonna put him over here. So that was my estate sale hauls. Now let's jump over to Goodwill. So there was a Goodwill that I stopped at on the way back from that estate sale, which was really cool because it had 3 items. I didn't have a lot of money left over after the estate sale for one, so I couldn't spend a lot. But there were 3 items that were pretty cool. One of those is that white whale that I found that I'm going to save for the last. But the other 2, this guy Isn't he adorable? He is a Roku pottery hippo from South Africa, and he does have a label on the bottom that says hand painted in South Africa. Now if you look, he's a little rough on the bottom. When I was researching him, I saw some pieces that were a little bit smoother, a little bit more finished on the bottom, and they were signed. They would have an initial on the bottom, a letter. And so I believe that those can be attributed to possibly a specific artist or company. This guy doesn't have that, so I'm not sure if he would bring quite as much as the others. They do look extremely similar as far as the way they're painted and the pattern on him, but I just thought he was really fun. And I mentioned in one of my other videos when I was talking about, I think it was a restaurant wear video, I mentioned that you can tell sometimes when you go to a thrift store that somebody had donated a collection. Well, there were a lot of hippos at this particular thrift store today. I mean, the day that I went, which was yesterday, maybe. So apparently somebody had donated a collection of hippos. And they had a lot of cute ones, but he was the only one that came home with me. And I really do like him. So, the other item that I thought was quite fun is this plate. And if you can see, I'm not sure how much detail is going to show up on the camera, but right here, each one of these panes around the edge is a different zodiac symbol. So I thought that was really quite fun for a piece of pressed glass. Zodiac items are often very popular. And it has a nice green color to it. It does have a couple of very, very minor scratches on it, but nothing significant. And then right here in the middle, you can see this maker's mark. It's an I over a G. I hope that focuses for you. But this is imperial glass, so it does have the mark. It can be attributed to a specific maker. It's got a nice motif. It's in good condition and a very popular subject matter. And that was $1.99. So hopefully that'll do well. All right, now moving on to another Goodwill. This is the one here in town that I go to fairly often, usually at least once a week. But this was a really nice haul from this Goodwill. So I walked in and I started down the aisle where all the figurines were, and I saw this guy. Now, he is adorable just for what he is, but then I flipped him over and saw that he is attributed to Tiffany and Company. So when I picked him up and saw that, it was yes please. Unfortunately he is missing the stopper, and he does have, where did it go? There it is. There is a little tiny chip on an ear, but other than that, he appears to be in really good condition. So I looked them up online. They don't sell for a huge ton of money, but he is cute, and hopefully somebody will give him a home. All right, one of the other items I came across was this cute little honey pot, and it does have the bee on the top. You can see it does not have the spoon or the honey dipper, but it does have a little slot for it. And this piece is Frankoma pottery. Now, Frankoma pottery is from Oklahoma, which isn't far from Texas, so I actually see quite a bit of Frankoma pottery, and I had seen another piece of Frankoma at this particular Goodwill before. Unfortunately, it had some pretty significant damage to it, so it did not come home with me, but this one is in great shape. And I do believe this is a more recent piece. A lot of the Frankoma, one of the ways you can tell Frankoma is typically they don't glaze this heavily. and you can actually see the under layer of clay, and you can kind of see it on the bee there, I hope, how the color of that red clay is showing through. That's very typical of Frankoma. And if you see a piece that looks like that, it's a pretty distinctive characteristic for Frankoma pottery. Like I said, usually it's not glazed quite this heavily with this much color, and you see more of that color pottery underneath. Now, one of the interesting things about Frankoma, as I was reading about them, I have learned a couple things. When they first started, they started in Ada, Oklahoma, and in Ada the clay is lighter, so it's more of a tan color. So if you find a Frankoma piece that has more of a tan color rather than this reddish color clay, that's a way you can tell that that's one of the earlier pieces. Then they moved their production. I don't remember where they moved to, but when they moved where the clay had a redder tint to it, and so this is the later versions with the red tint. So that's just a tidbit about Frankoma and how you can tell whether it's an earlier piece or a later piece. Okay, so my battery died just after I finished talking about the Frankoma honey pot, and I took that opportunity to look up that information about the move. When John Nathaniel Frank is who founded Frankoma Pottery, and he was a professor at University of Oklahoma in their art ceramics department in the late 20s, early 30s, and that's when he started producing Frankoma pottery. And it was the really early pieces were in Ada, and then they moved to Sapulpa, Oklahoma. He decided to stop teaching and devote his attention full time to the pottery, and that was in 1938 when they moved to Sapulpa, and that was when the clay changed from the tannish color to the more reddish color. So it's either considered Ada pieces or Sapulpa pieces. So there's a little bit of Frankoma trivia for you. So let's move on to another pottery piece. And this one is newer. It's not vintage. It's dated 2013 on the bottom from Deneen Potteries. But I thought this was just a really neat piece. It's very nicely done. The quality is really nice. And it is from the U.S. Naval Academy. It's got that U.S. Naval Academy seal on it. And so I like to pick up pieces that maybe have a interest to more than one group. Like this, it might be of interest to pottery collectors, but also to people who collect military or naval memorabilia. So it has multiple possible audiences for it. And plus it was only 99 cents. So I figured that was worth the gamble on that newer piece. And studio pottery is something that I am learning about. There's a couple of groups that I have joined on Facebook that are very informative, and I'm really enjoying learning about it. And also there is a website called the Marks Project that has been really helpful because it does have a lot of marks on it that identify either the studio or the artist that did things. Unfortunately, the mark on these two pieces is not on that website. So I have not yet identified the maker of these pieces. But this is really nice pottery. These look hand-thrown, hand-painted. One of the ways you can tell true hand-thrown pieces is if you look inside. Sometimes molded pieces will try to imitate the hand-thrown look by doing these ridges on the outside, but very seldom does a molded piece have those ridges on the inside. And that will help you identify that this is truly hand-thrown pottery pieces. And both of these pieces do have a mark right here on the edge. If you can see that right there. It looks like two J's, and one of them is reversed, and they share the upright portion of the letter, so they're joined. Haven't been able to find that mark yet. And here's the one that's on the picture. And this one is a little different because whereas this, the mark on the jug, the top of the J's, the line is flat. On the picture, it actually has a bit of a pitch to it, almost like a little roof over the J's. And so, but obviously they're done from the same studios, same artist. And so I'm doing some research trying to figure these out, but these are two really nice pieces. The jug was $4.99 and the little mug was $2.99, so definitely worth picking these up and doing a little bit of research on it. They have nice weight, they're really nice pieces. Now on to some plates. So this is a set of 4 dessert plates with a seashell motif on it. Different colors, different shells on each plate. And these were made by the Goodwill and Company. So I looked that company up. I've not found these specific plates online. They're widely varied as to the value, but they were 99 cents a piece. So for the set, I paid $3.96. That was worth it. Gonna do a little bit more research. I like the seashell motif. I could see somebody picking these up and putting them in their beach house, or if they just have a nice seaside theme going in their home, these would be a really nice addition for that. So those are pretty cool. This is a collector's plate, and it's really nice because it's Wedgwood, first of all, and it does have the original box and the original paperwork with it. And this is a commemorative plate to the royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana, who became Princess Di, of course. And Princess Di collectibles, there's still people, even though she passed away tragically in an accident, then there are still many people who collect things surrounding the royal wedding and Lady Di. So this is, of course, 1981, which is when the wedding occurred. It has the picture of St. Paul's Cathedral, which is where the wedding happened. And it was limited to that year of production, so it is a limited edition. And it was, I think, $2 or $3. So not a lot, but I thought it was worth picking up, especially since it had that original box. And what's fun is it does have a sticker back here. I'm not sure if that's a price tag or what that is. It looks like it's priced in pounds if it's a price tag. So somebody may have actually gone to England and been there during the wedding. I don't know, that would be kind of cool. And then it ended up in a Goodwill in Central Texas. Alright, so this is kind of a fun piece. It is very heavy. It weighs a little bit over 2 pounds. And I'm not great at identifying stone, but it is definitely some kind of stone. I saw several different ones. I did not find this one exactly online, but there were some that were identified as a snowflake marble. It could be alabaster. I'm just not sure. He does have these natural veinings. He has a cute face. I love the little details on his face. There's even a little detail on his nose there and his eyes. And then the carving on his body is so nice and smooth. It's just a really nicely done piece. And he actually is going to be on his way to his new home as a birthday gift as soon as I finish this video. So he is headed to North Texas as a birthday gift. Now, this piece caught my eye. When I first saw it, I thought maybe it was Italian or maybe Portugal, because of the way the painting was done. But when I picked it up, it actually shows that it is from Delft, Holland. And when I look online, I see a lot of marks from old Delft pieces, and most of the time when you say Delft, people think of the blue and white plates. That's what Delft pottery is very well known for. That goes back to the 16th century, I think. But so this is not typically the style of piece that people think of when you say Delft, but I think it is quite lovely. I loved the hand painting on it. I loved the lines, the shape of the vase, the detail. Look at that little crosshatch there. It's just a really, really lovely piece. And it was kind of fun because I brought it home and my husband said that he liked it. And so it's always fun to find pieces that my husband says that he likes, because he's not drawn to a lot of the same types of things that I am. And so I haven't decided yet if I'm going to list this, if I'm going to keep it around a little bit. Sometimes I like to keep pieces at least for a little while and enjoy them, and then I'll list them later, but at least I've got to enjoy them for a little bit, and that may be what happens with this piece, because I just think it's so pretty. And it is painted all the way around, so I'll show you how it's painted all the way. Very, very nice. So now the next two pieces are definitely staying with me. This one is a music box, nothing special, modern piece. It was $3.99. Like I said, it does have a music box, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what melody it is that's playing. Because of my hearing loss, higher pitched sounds are extremely difficult for me to decipher. So I can kind of tell that it's playing, but I can't tell you what song it is. But I do collect nativities, which is why I picked this up, and I thought this one was fun. It has that little sugared applied decoration on it. So it looks like, it's got all the little characters from the nativity there. It has Mary. This is one of the kings, another king. I think this is Joseph, the third king, the shepherd, the angel, and of course baby Jesus and the sheep. And one thing that I learned about nativities is when you place nativities, they always have the sheep and sometimes the donkey near baby Jesus, because the legend is the animals stayed near baby Jesus so that they could breathe their warm breath on the new baby and keep him warm. So I thought that was sweet that they put the little sheep right there next to baby Jesus. So this one is going up to my collection. And another collection that I have are the Joseph Birthstone Girls. And I was really excited to find her because she was $1.99, I think. And she is one of the birthstone collections. You can see her holding her little emerald there. And she is October. And she has her original stickers that show that she is an October Emerald Birthstone Girl, and she is a Joseph original. And then also on the bottom, I'm trying to make sure that it's right side up for you. On the bottom she has her stamp indicating that she is a Joseph. And Josephs are very, very popular. There's some of them that are quite valuable. So if you do see a Joseph's original in the thrift store and they're in good condition, you might want to go ahead and pick them up if the price is right. Now, one of the things I did check for her, a lot of times there is damage on the neck, at the waist, on the arms, the hands, or chipping around the base of the dresses. And like you can see here, she's in great condition. Her flowers are in great condition. So I was really excited to find her and add her to my birthstone collection. I started out trying to get the ones first that corresponded with the birth months of my kids and my family, but we don't have anybody born in October, but I wasn't going to pass her up for that price. So I think that is all of the items except for that white whale. Now, there's a couple of things that I have said in my mind that when I'm out hunting, I want to find in the wild. One of those is an Enid Collins purse, which that's not the item I'm going to share with you, but Enid Collins is one of my white whales to find in the wild in a thrift store. I found some at estate sales and antique stores or online. That's where I usually find them. But someday I will find an Enid Collins. And the other item that I had said I would find one day, it is a purse. And it is a Whiting and Davis purse. I said, someday I will find a Whiting and Davis purse at the Goodwill. And guess what? Yesterday was the day. And I found this one. Now, it does have a bit of damage. I think this should be a fairly simple repair. It looks like this is the little line, clear fiber that was holding it on has broken. And I just need to stitch that back up to get that repair done. So I think that'll be quite simple to do. The mesh itself is in great condition. The handle does need a little bit of cleaning. It does have its Whiting and Davis logo on the zipper, which is fun. And then if you open it up, it does have the Whiting and Davis lining inside. So you can see that right there, the Whiting and Davis on the lining. So I was super excited to find this. You know, other than that little repair, it is in really good condition, and I think it'll clean up quite nicely. And so I'm excited that we found this. So that is my haul video for you today. Thank you for joining me. If you've got any more information, especially about those pottery pieces or the Delft piece, one of the things I was going to mention, this is a more recent Delft piece, I believe. I don't know that it's very old. And I did try to find the marks for this to date it, and everything went way back. So I was not able to find those older marks. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. Make sure that you leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought. What was your favorite thing I found today? And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss any of TammyToosVintage. And this is Tamara signing off, and hope y'all tune in next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.